Okay, what I'm going to do in this tutorial is to demonstrate how to use Vecteezy editor to design a Christmas card. And what we're going to make is, something a little bit similar to what we have here in my illustrated tutorial. So a Christmas card with a Christmas tree, a couple of decorative baubles, and a text that says Merry Christmas. So to do this in Vecteezy, first of all, we have to start designing. And this brings us to an already existing image. So what we got to do first is to go to File, Clear, to get a blank canvas. So the first thing I'm going to do is to draw my Christmas tree, and I'm going to do that by drawing several triangles that are shaped, stacking them on top of one another, and then drawing the trunk. So triangle 1. I'm going to click 3 points, trying to keep this as symmetrical as possible. Here I can hold the Shift key to go in a straight line. So I'm going to do that. And then I click the final point to close the shape. Right now it's black with an orange outline. We want to change that. So we're going to go to Fill Settings, where we can change the inside color. You see it's being weird. And I think that sometimes this program glitches a little bit. So I have to just reset some of the settings. So we want a dark green. Moving on somewhere around here. That doesn't look too bad. Let's stick with that. Dark green. Now the stroke setting, stroke is basically the outline. So right now it's fully visible. Size is 10, allegedly, and the color is yellow. We want to change that. We don't really care. We don't want to see the outline, so we're going to go to transparency 0. All right, now we have to put a curve into the sides. So I'm going to go to my pen tool, and I'm going to click on the side to get a bit of a curve. And then I'll click on the points and drag these handles over here until I get a shape that I think looks kind of nice. That's pretty good. Other side, curve. Yep. And then pull this handle down to roughly symmetrical. And this handle over here to something, oh, it looks really pointy. That's not too bad. Okay. It's a little bit pointed, but that's okay. Clicking on the selection tool, I can see it's not perfectly symmetrical, but I think it'll do for now. I can always resize this by pulling, and you see that it is proportional, unless there's a shortcut for this, which on my Mac is Command, that I have to use to make it thinner or wider. Again, that'll do for now. Okay, I've got this, and I'm going to make copies of it. So click on it, copy, paste, Command C, Command V, or duplicate up here. I'm just dragging this down to make my very thin looking Christmas tree. That's fine for now. Okay, keep going, and more. There we go. Something of a Christmas tree. Now, one thing I'm going to do now is I can see it's quite hard to align them very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw, give myself a guiding line by drawing a rectangle. And I'm going to use this rectangle shape right here just to have a bit of a construction line. So I'm going to make this longer, Command pull in this direction. And I'm going to go to this, fill settings. I'm going to change that to none, so transparent. And stroke settings, I actually want to see the outline here. I don't want to see the rectangle, but I want to see the outline. So I'm going to go for whatever. It doesn't really matter the color. This is fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this down a little bit. And this now is going to be the line that I'm going to use to construct my drawing. So going back to my Christmas tree, see that I'm a little bit off. I'm going to go by the top. I'm going to make sure all of my layers here, it's quite hard to see, but that doesn't look too bad, are aligned at the top. That looks pretty good. Maybe I can change the sizes of some of them. Let's make them a little bit bigger as we go down. So completely bigger. Okay, that one like this. Let's make it even a little bit bigger. even a little bit bigger, and then the bottom one's going to be the biggest. There we go. And now I'm going to align all of my layers using my construction line. There we go. I'm just moving with the arrows on my keyboard in case you're wondering, but of course you can also do this with the mouse. Okay, last one. Oh, let's go with the mouse. Okay, that will do for the top of the Christmas tree. Now we are going to draw the trunk. And to draw the trunk, I'm going to draw a, let's see if I can use an existing shape. Let's see if I can change. I want to use a rectangle, but I want the bottom to be a little bit round. So I'm going to see if I can use one of the existing shapes in the software to make my life a little bit easier. Let's see. Yes, I can. Good. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use an existing rectangle and pull the bottom out a little bit so that it gets rounded. Then I'm going to change the color to a brown. Something like this, fine. It's way too big, so I'm going to make it smaller. Something like that, fine. And then I'm going to come and align it. You see, this is where my construction lines are very useful because now I know where to place it. Of course, actually that looks quite weird. That's because top and bottom aren't really aligned. Let's align these like this. It's not too bad. Okay. So what I want is I actually want this tree trunk to go behind the tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it and I'm going to come down here where it says arrange and flip. And I think it's this one. Yes. Basically, these two allow you to bring shapes forwards and backwards. These two allow you to mirror your shapes, either horizontally or vertically. Oh, you can even align them. Actually, maybe I could have just used that. Never mind. Here is our Christmas tree. That looks pretty good. So we don't need the construction line anymore. Just going to delete that. Now we are going to add some decorative bubbles. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to start with a circle shape. And I'm going to make it a lot smaller. Let's start with this. I think it's easier to see it actually and then just see what I'm doing now and then scale it down later. So I'm going to change actually I quite like this color, FFC 300. So I'm going to type that here, FFC 300. Make it yellow inside in the fill, and let's give it a stroke, which is going to be this gray. That's fine. I can change the size of the stroke. See, it's a bit glitchy because in reality it said 10, but this is 10. So in reality it was more like a 1. We're going to go for this. Above or below? No, we want it like this. Okay, scale it down. Put it somewhere over here. Okay, now I'm going to copy and paste this somewhere else, but now I'm going to change the color to, yeah, that bright green is quite nice. Let's go with this. All right, and a third one. Copy, paste. Put it somewhere over here. Make that a magenta, fuchsia, hot pink. Great. Beautiful. Looks very festive. So now all I need to do is to add my text. I'm going to go to my type tool right here and I'm going to click, start typing. Nope. Click. Okay, start typing Mary. Okay. Actually, one thing I should say is this software is good because it's free and it allows you to do a lot of the things that you would do in Illustrator and you're going to need for this unit. But it is a little bit glitchy. So you want to make sure that you're actually saving as much as you can. Really, I could have saved much more than just now. I could have saved much earlier and saved regularly. So I'm going to make sure I keep on saving from now on. Let's go to my text. Mary. Start with that. Color, let's change that to a red. Again, it's being a bit glitchy. Got to change the darkness to make the color kick in. Here we go. That looks good. I'm going to scale that up by going to my selection tool, scaling it up, maybe giving it a little bit of a slant. And I'm going to change the font. Open sans, no thank you. Let's do this one. No, let's do this one. Keep going and going and going. It's fine. I'll stick with this one for now. Mary. And then I want to type in Christmas. I'm going to say in caps. Christmas. Yeah. Never mind. So I want the color of this to be the same as this color. I could have just copied and pasted the text and changed the text, but now I'm going to have to remember this. E32110. Color. Type that in. E32, what was it? 110? Yes, that looks good. Same font. What was it? It was this one? No. This one? Why can't I remember? Weird. No, it was this one. Almendra SC. Okay. Resize. Here we go. Turn it a little bit. Bring this over here. Save. Save for later. And there you have it. Here is our festive Christmas card. The last thing we're probably going to want to do is to download this file in some way. So let's see what our options are. Download SVG or PNG. So PNG is going to be if we want a flat picture, like a JPEG. SVG is if we want the actual vector drawing. So SVG is what we're going to use when we use the laser cutter. But for now, I actually want a flat image that I can send as a card. I'm going to download it as a PNG. And let's see what happens. Not bad. It's pretty close to what we have in Illustrator. Of course, I haven't put in a background, which maybe I should have. And I should have checked a little bit more what my, oops, wrong, sorry. Should have checked a little bit more what my format was. If I zoom out, I can see that I'm actually quite far to the left here on my template. So maybe I could have moved everything more to the center and added a background. Let's see if we can do that quickly. Background, I even have a background option. It's quite practical here. Let's make it, this weird orange. Maybe a little bit lighter, more transparent. Transparent is just going to make it lighter in this case. Obviously, we're not going to see these squares. But no, that looks ugly. Let's just stick with this. And let's take everything. Select, 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 select. Actually, maybe can I do this? Yes, select the whole thing and move it more to the center. There we go. Let's try that again. So file, download as a PNG. Open again. And here we go, a Christmas card. Not bad. You will notice that compared to the Illustrator, compared to our original Illustrator file, it's not exactly the same. With Vecteezy, it's going to be harder to do things super precisely the way you could in Illustrator, but we can give it a pretty good go and get something that still gives us a lot of control. So that's pretty good. All right.